Losing friends, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be because a person did something. It's for me. Relay all night, all night. Relay all night, relay all night.
Yeah, you could go ahead and subscribe now. Thanks.
Hey NyeAllies, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nye, coming with yet another reason for you guys to keep watching. So if you're new, me too. Now we in this together, okay? So go ahead and like and subscribe because we about to get into these topics. You ready? Because I am. Let's do it. Okay, y'all, so today we about to get into this, okay? We about to get into it. We are talking about normalizing losing friends. So y'all are probably like, how did you even come up with this topic, girl? Like, come on, for real, we need the goods, okay? Let me tell y'all something. When it comes to, I guess, holding on to friends, it's just like, it's a lot. And I realized that I don't have any obligations to anybody, okay? When it comes to my self-care or, you know, just my social circle or anything of that nature, it's just like, I don't have to be friends with, you know, everybody in the world. Everybody in the world's not about to be my cup of tea. So it was just like, you know, really realizing what I need to support myself, what I need when it comes to the friends in my circle, you know, and their support and what they're willing to give, and, you know, not being a burden on them and everything like that. It's definitely something I had to come to terms with, because apparently that's a touchy topic for some. Like, apparently, you know, people think you're supposed to be their friends forever, even if things are a little rocky. So we're about to dive into this topic a little bit, just a smidge, you know what I'm saying, because it's necessary, period. So for today's topic, we're going to be talking about normalizing losing friends. And I know that is a huge issue, especially for, like, I don't know, people in my age range right now, because it's just like we feel this obligation to people to have to be friends with people. Or, like, if we don't want to be friends, it's this, like, horrible thing, like, you know, rejection. Like, you know, it's not always about that person. And I want to talk about, you know, how we can normalize losing friends just for our emotional health. Sometimes we can lose friends just because of your own personal self-care. I know personally I had lost a couple friends just because every time they called, they would want something. Yeah, and you know, like, I have my own life, you know, I have my own struggles, I have my own this, that, and the third. They don't call and be like, hey girl, how you doing? Like, what you going through? Like, are you even emotionally available to handle me right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have that type of consideration. So every time I got a phone call, it was just like, Naya, I need you to do this. I need you to help me with a paper. Okay. That's one of my strengths. I realize, you know, you want some of this good stuff. I get it, you know. But at the end of the day, it's just like, it becomes a demand rather than, you know, something that I want to fulfill. Or if every time you call me, you need a paper, am I a job? Like, do I have a job? You know, am I getting an extra degree that I don't know about? Another thing that was like a part of my self-care, I guess, was like, I started to be the jealous friend. And I didn't necessarily like that because, first of all, that's not even me. So just for example, I guess, for example, it would just be like, I saw one of my friends treat their other friends way better than they were treating me. So it was just like, their other friends, they went on, I don't know, they went like shopping together, or they went and, I don't know, they social media, watch out, because you know they post their conversations online, and it'll be like an hour phone call or something, but again, that friend could just call me for that 5 minutes of whether, you know, when they need their paper done. So it was just like, dang, like, you really treating all your other friends way better than you treat me. And that's a problem, because now I'm getting exhausted trying to help you out. And it's no longer a friendship. It's no longer, you know, a give and receive ordeal. Or, you know, even if you have an arrangement to where, like, you're the giver for a while and then, like, it kind of switches. None of that was occurring. I was just that person to get called when they needed something. So, you know, seeing all of their other friends and, you know, how they could just have fun and relax and enjoy the time that they're spending together, you know, that was something that I definitely was just like, for real? Like, you could do that with her, but you can't do that with me? Or, you know, like, it was just a different dynamic, and I didn't appreciate it. So that was another thing that I had to just go ahead and let go for myself. I guess another thing that would be a part of my self-care and why, you know, I would lose a friend in that aspect would be, you know, just a person just distracting me from my goals. You know, right now I'm really focused on, you know, my job. I'm focused on school. I'm focusing on, you know, ministry and this YouTube. Like, there's so many things I'm focused on. It's just like, I don't need someone coming in and exhausting my energy from the things that I love to do. You know what I mean? So even if that's, you know, this type of friend, she wants to go out every single night, you know, or gets mad at me at the fact that I can't go, or I'm too tired, or, you know, I'm giving all these excuses, and, you know, this friend really needs someone to go out with them and do what they do. I'm not about to pressure myself to do with what other people want me to do, because other things, the goals that I have set for myself, like, you know, and it's not selfish of them, because that could be how, you know, they govern themselves. That could be how they govern their relationships and how they decide to care for people. But if that's not my language, then that's something I'm willing to kind of give up just for myself, just for my happiness, and you know, the things that I would like to do in my life. So I know, like, it's a really rough thing for people to lose friends when they've been friends for so long. I know that's a big thing, especially, like, you know, those friends that you had ever since kindergarten or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, that's a big thing. You know, people don't stay around that long. And so I think because of the length of time, people try to, you know, keep those connections. However, you know, the person you were in kindergarten could very well not be the person you are now. So sometimes the reason why we're staying friends is the reason why we don't need to be friends. You know, in this aspect, it's just like, when you think of your long-term friends, right? Think of some friends you've been knowing long term, like since you were a baby. You know, they like a cousin to me. You know, all of that other stuff, right? So for me, it was just like, do I value the time that I spent with that person, or do I value that person? You know what I'm saying? Like, just because of the length of time that you were friends with someone, it doesn't mean that you should stay friends with them just because you feel like you would have wasted all this time. That is not a reason for you guys to be friends. Matter of fact, it's the exact opposite, because it's just like, you may not even connect with this person anymore. And looking at, I know, my long-term relationships, it was just like, well, why are we friends? You know, is that something that is this friendship nurturing me, or is it taken away from me? Because sometimes, you know, we may need to leave our long-term friends behind. And even though that's a hard conversation, you could literally, just how you grew up together, you can grow apart from each other. So with short-term friends, this is quite interesting too, because it's just like when you meet somebody, you could literally feel their vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like you could literally feel sometimes when you meet somebody, you can really feel their vibes, and you can really tell if that person is for you or against you. And that's your own personal discernment, whether you have that or not. But it's just like sometimes people don't have your best interest. So whether that's you know, going over their intentions of why they want to be your friend, maybe that's a conversation that needs to be held. So you know, some people could just want to be your friend just because of how you look. So if you look a certain way, you're like, oh, that's a baddie right there, I want her on my team type stuff, right? But every time y'all go out, you feel like they play you, or like they're jealous of you, or, you know, if you feel some type of weird energy, listen to that. Because 9 times out of 10, it's you trying to protect yourself from something that you potentially could see happening. Or, you know, it could be the big jizzle. It could be anything. So, you know, really listen to those vibes. So even when it comes to like short-term relationships, short-term friends, it's just like sometimes God gives us discernment, right? So sometimes when you meet up with a person for the first time or first couple of times, you feel the vibe. You could feel that there's something off. You can feel that, you know, either the connection's not there, or maybe the connection's there, but it's just like, it's awkward. Or you feel bad about the interaction. Those type of things can happen. And in those moments, it's just like, just as easy as it is to dub someone that's interested in you or to go ghost, you can do the same thing with that friend. The same exact thing. Because sometimes those discernments are trying to warn you. And they're trying to tell you, like, you know, maybe this person has some qualities that you already don't accept. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know, just to go into a little story time, a little tea. It's just like, you know, I had this one friend. She's a great person. You know, she's a really great person. I admire her professionalism. I admire her adaptability. Like, she's just so fun, you know? And she is so inviting, actually. You know, she was really inviting. Like, hey, let's do this. Let's, cool, right? So there were a couple of times that we went out with this, when I went out with this friend. And, you know, I didn't feel as comfortable being in the situations that I was in. So, you know, whether it was, you know, I'm getting a little older now and I'm out of college, and I'm realizing that my tolerance level for alcohol is a little bit different from when I was in college, you know. So, you know, seeing how the pre-games now turn into going to the club, and then going to the club could turn into going, you know, somewhere else, another destination. It's just like, you know, I had to step back and be like, dang, you know, I'm not set up for the let's hop all these different places every single time we hang out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't okay with me. And then it's just like, the later you stay out, the more, I feel like the later you stay out, the more, the easier it is for you to get into some difficult situations. Let's just say that. And so one night, you know, the Uber driver was going crazy. And literally we were in 3 lanes at one time. First of all, you're only supposed to be in 1 lane at a time. Let's talk about that. And if you switch into another lane, you can even be in 2 lanes at the same time. Why were we in 3? Didn't make sense. So, you know, I'm watching this Uber driver driving, And, you know, we're all intoxicated or whatever. So I do understand, you know, life is a little bit different from that view. But the people I was with, they were on their phones. They weren't paying attention to the road. They were just being in an Uber, trusting this Uber driver to take us to our destination. So when when I finally noticed that it was a pattern with this driver, I said something. And I was just like, hey, choose a lane. This is my life. I value it. If we need another Uber driver, we can definitely get one. Yeah, that was one situation that I just knew that if I continued this friendship, I felt like I would get in more risky situations, and I'm not willing to necessarily take those type of risks with my life. Yeah, so I guess I really do want y'all to know, like, when it comes to friends, it's like you really want to think about quality over quantity. Everybody's not gonna be a friend. Everybody's not gonna be a good friend. You know what I mean? So it's just like really watching out and knowing who you are in connection to the people that you surround yourself with. I think that's like one of the biggest lessons that I've learned for myself. Who you surround yourself with is really a reflection on you. Unless you're that person that can stand on their own and not let different stuff affect them. But if you're not that person, your friends are really a reflection of you. And I feel like when it comes to those friendships, it could either help you or it could hurt you. Either way. And that's from internal, yourself looking at your situation, and it could be external. So maybe a job may be looking at you, and as they look at you, they look on your Instagram and see who you surround yourself with, who's in the pictures with you, what kind of pictures you taking. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like just being mindful of how you present yourself and how you come off, because those things, they draw people to you. And you want to make sure you draw the right kind of people towards you to help support you and your goals. As we close off this year, I really want to reflect on the things that I guess have impacted me thus far. And a huge impact has really been, me losing my friends. I've lost like one of my oldest friends this year. And, I didn't understand how dependent I was on that friendship. And when I finally got freedom from that friendship, it was just like I felt free to be myself. Like that purging of spirits really allowed me to develop the person I am today. So I'm sharing this with you guys. I really hope you guys really take this to heart, really take this and be able to draw your own conclusions when it comes to making friends, being able to just choose the better option for you. I know it can be hard, and at times it can affect the people that you love and care about and respect. However, and having that consideration for others, you need to have that consideration for yourself as well. So with that being said, thank you so much for supporting me, guys. Thank you so much for even watching my channel, for still watching my channel. Y'all, some riders, I love y'all for real. Thank you so much for just your ongoing support. And, I really can't wait to see the journey that we're about to embark on. I really can't wait to see the growth, you know what I'm saying? Because I really can't wait for the journey that we're about to embark on. I really can't wait for, just to see the growth, this prosperity, okay? Because, this is something that is needed. This is something that is called for. This is something that, you know, people really need to normalize, because your mental health matters. You know, your happiness matters. Your peace matters. And so instilling that in you all is like confirming it for myself, because sometimes you could feel so awful in making those hard decisions. And so I want to be able to be that support for you guys, to let you know that you are doing an amazing job, that you're loving yourself harder this year, that you are paying attention to your wants, to your needs, and not in a selfish way. This is not selfish at all, but in a healing. Because you never know what you're doing for that other person. Like, you know, that person could very well feel the same way about you. It's just they feel an obligation. You know, they feel an obligation to stick it out or what have you. So, thank you guys for watching again. Thank you guys for supporting. Can't wait to see this journey. You know what I'm saying? We about to get into it. Okay? How they do the fan? They go, hey, like, people press about friends. Maybe y'all don't need to be friends no more.